Can I swear? Good evening, Mr. Cheplik. My name is Jordan Andino, and I'm going to teach Max here a few adult lessons. I don't know what they are, but we'll get there when we cross that bridge. Okay. My dad is a chef in Toronto, grew up in the summers and winters cooking with him in his restaurants. So from the ages of 9 to 17, grade school and high school, every summer and winter and major break, I would go back to Toronto and cook. So that means by the time I got to college, I had about 4 years, full years of experience, of professional kitchen experience, more than really anyone else. So that's where I started. Then, of course, my grandmother lending her palate and home flavors helped. Then I staged at Jean-Georges, French Laundry, Spago, and then kind of took over a lot of the New York food scene from in terms of gastropubs. I went to the Hamptons and did that, and really tried to earn my name and earn my stripes in New York, because the fact of the matter is, if you earn your stripes here in New York, from a cooking standpoint, you earn a lot of the respect everywhere else, which is nice. Then, so I started when I was 9. I'm now 29, so it's been a 20-year career of cooking. My 2 restaurants are Flip Siggy. Flip Siggy stands for, so Flip is a slang term for Filipino. Siggy is that's like the phonetic way of saying go, or like yell or whatever. So a bunch of different meanings. It basically means go Filipino. And the whole point of Flip Siggy, it's an introduction to Filipino food. So it's a Filipino taqueria, Filipino foods in Mexican vessels. So it's like sandwiches, tacos, bowls, burritos, a little bit of Filipino love sprinkled all about. And if you were to open a book on Filipino food, Flip Siggy and what I'm trying to do is just the first chapter. You know, it's by no means the thick of it. It's just an introduction to what I believe Filipino food can bring to the table. No pun intended, or all the pun intended. It's just a natural progression of people wanting new things. You know, first it started with, back in the days, Chinese or Italian food. It was American, then Italians came and dropped that. Then there was Irish food, and all these people coming in and introducing new cultures. People then wanted, a big part of every culture is the food and the cuisine of such. So you've seen it. You go back every 10 years, and you see, okay, Thai was big, Korean tacos were big, Chinese food was big, Japanese was big, and sushi was big. And so I saw it as, this is just the next one in line. Who knows why those ones went first? But all I can tell you is that Filipino food was next. We saw that about 3 years ago, and we wanted to hop on that bandwagon, and if anything, drive the bandwagon. And I do believe that Flip Siggy, me and my 2 partners, have been at the forefront of leading this new wave of culture of Filipino food and bringing that to the American masses. What it takes to be a great chef is knowing when to shut the fuck up. Dead serious. And what the problem with, what I've noticed, I'm not going to generalize and say all of today's youth, but with a lot of the youth that I have dealt with, all the ages from about 16 to 23, everyone seems to know more than they ever think they know. No one's willing to just shut the fuck up, listen, learn, and say, okay, and then continue doing their job. I got to where I am because all I did was say, yes, chef, what's next? Okay? Yes, chef, what's next? Okay, I'm done, chef, what's next? Okay, and that's all I said. And that's all I said for like 4 years. I didn't say anything else. And that's how I got here. That's how I became a great chef. I think there's 2 truths. First truth, it's not as glamorous. I think this one's more obvious, but it's not as glamorous as TV makes it out to be. Things don't look as beautiful. People aren't as wild, but people also aren't that nice. The hours are grueling. It's physically terrible on your body. And it's thankless. Every day you work and no one really praises you. So, like, TV and the pop culture really has glamorized kitchens and restaurants, but it's nowhere near that glamorous. Number 2, the pay sucks dick. Everyone's like, I want to be a chef. Like, cool. Like, so do you want to make $60,000 for the rest of your life? Like, does that sound like a good idea to you? And then there's people that think that celebrity chefs make a shit ton of money. Unless you're like a higher, like in the small echelon of really like 40 celebrity chefs, you're not making any money, and you're struggling every day. There's no way anyone can be a chef, because it takes a certain type of person who is okay with pain, okay with being in a thankless job, okay with not making money, okay with grinding every single day and trying to and fueling themselves off the adrenaline and chaos that is a kitchen and a restaurant. That doesn't live in everyone. Honestly, the hardest thing about being a chef is finding people to represent you.
Okay.
So finding a chef that cares about your food as much as you do. Finding a front of house server who wants to pitch your story the way you would pitch it. Trying to make the place be you while you aren't there, so that you don't have to be there every second of every day. I don't have any regrets. I don't live my life with regrets. I wouldn't do a single thing different. Honestly, it's competitive, but it's not as crazy competitive as one may think, because there's so many different cuisines and different types of food and presentation of food. There's fine dining, then there's like tasting course fine dining, but then there's just upscale fine dining, then there's upscale, then there's casual, fast casual, upscale casual. So there's a lot of different ways, and so wait, what was the question again? And so with there being so many different types of cuisines, cultures, and the way food is presented, anyone can really find their own niche and even create their own niche. I made a cuisine. Like, I literally created and invented a cuisine. It's called a Filipino taqueria. It's never been made together in the world, in the history of the world.
Yeah.
So when I die, Filipino taquerias, I will have created
that.
Like, literally, and that's, it's crazy to think, but that's a fact.